They'll be calling you a radical. Teenage wasteland, teenage wasteland. Out here in the field, we fight for what's real. So, the anti-hedge fund that's going on, now listen, this shiny ball, this is an important historic video. I used to teach the derivative arbitrage class at the #1 school of business in the United States, right there. #1 in the country. The Saudi kids that were in my class, Kyle Madsen used to say, go talk to fucking Mike Vaughn, he's still alive. He'll tell you. Most likely, Kevin, you probably taught them how to buy the puts on the airline stocks. They were in my class. Oh yeah, they arrested 5 of them on this camp. That's a fact. You can fucking laugh all you want. But listen to me. Paramount. Talk about fucking deep throat on chemo. He's from here, Mark Felt. So, to all the youth, I want to talk to you about this. The anti-hedge fund trading, which I call the Aaron Swartz trade. And I was in D.C., I was in New York. I was in the car. I just came out of the bone marrow transplant. I was all but dead that day. That was the strangest, hardcore vibe I ever come. It was cold, fucking in Brooklyn that day. I didn't know that he had walked out of the courtroom and killed himself. You know what they did? Heyman and Ortiz, 35 years. So, make no mistake about it. This is an important historic video. Trump bailed out the hedge fund industry. And what the hedge fund, I used to teach the hedge fund class in the #1 school of business in the United States. I taught it for years, you know. In 2000, when we came home, we were at the Berkshire Hathaway shareholder meeting. I warned them, do not fucking sell fucking Warren Buffett and Bill Childs, R.C. Willey, don't sell them our school business. Don't do it. They donate. They turn into Chinese oligarchs. We went from #1 school business in the United States to fucking last. These dirtbag fuckers. So, I mean, this is important. The bank bailout. This is the bank bailout on chemo. This is the biggest bailout in fucking world history, bar none. Trump. The markets melded down in fucking March of this year. Melded fucking down. It was over. These crooked hedge funds are not hedge funds anymore. These electronic matrices they built are leveraged to 100 to 1, some of them. Which should be against, it used to be against law. You could be leveraged more than fucking 2 to 1 was the maximum. You know, they deregged it all post fucking 9/11, Stairway to Heaven. The 9/11 kids, fucking 5 of them were arrested on this campus. I taught the fucking class. Kyle Madsen used to say to me all the time, Kevin, most likely you taught them how to buy. I'm the first guy that discovered it. I'm like, holy fuck, look at this. They got puts all over tight to the fucking money. This is a 1,000,000 to 1 shot. Fucking the gift that keeps on giving. The fucking markets melded down. These hedge funds were exposed. They were done. They were wiped out. Now think about who's running the Fed. Wilbur, fucking hedge fund. How about CNBC? Larry Kudlow, Trump. This is the biggest bailout in human history. They bailed out these fucking hedge funds. They were over. They were wiped out. They were bankrupt. They were fucking... And how did they do it? As I've said it for years. Right there, there's another loot job. The F-35 like... How did they do it? The Fed is fucking... Simply... tax the future, tax the youth of America, and give to my friends. Do you realize Trump ran fucking $9 trillion of fucking debt in 4 years? The biggest in history was the Obama administration. They ran 8 trillion or 9 trillion in 8 years. The so-called GOP, fiscal responsible, fuck, since Reagan, there was no debt in 1980. Trickle-down economics, this is the biggest bailout in human fucking history. I'll tell you something really cool for you young people. Right here, who's the great snowboarder, the redhead? I was here that day, and I'm like, what if there's a little camera crew secretly? And there's this video, and they just stopped in here, nobody knew. And yeah, that's right there. And he's snowboarding in the snow. We don't get snow anymore, you know. So they poisoned your planet. Teenage wasteland. Oh, a teen. So people are asking me, young people, I mean, everybody's calling me off the hook. They know my children are calling me. You know, I think it's perfect they did it with Gamestop because of that generation. I want to say this too. You know, I knew Aaron Swartz. I love how Red has a link. Any folks? That's not Aaron Swartz. Remember, he was a self-education kid. Remember, he unloaded the server. Had freaking to expose the PhDs. They captured all the PhDs. They had him. Laura Ponius. There's one. Whoa. Whoa. Think about her. You know, the billionaire. She's the endowment at MIT. Where Aaron Swartz did his freaking gig that cost him his life. She's the endowment's daughter. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Talk about performance art. This is important. What you've done is historic. I'll tell you how historic it is. Not just squeezing them out of this position. Not out of the position. The Fed will just bail them out again. You called attention. Now listen to me. This is the biggest bailout in human history. The hedge fund bailout of 2020. So Trump and these guys all orchestrated. I'm the guy that started the Million Mass March. It was called the Post-Ignorance Project. Occupy, I'm the paramount guy that started all that. It was called the Post-Ignorance Project. All co-op. Now this spring, all of a sudden, now remember the Million Mass March in 2012, 2013, Aaron Swartz, based on the death of Aaron Swartz. That's what started the whole thing. And the death of Danielle Willard. That's how it got started. By Kevin Blanchard on this university. Now stay with me. This is historic important. We had 7 million people on Remember Ram over the 5th. 7 million. We made the exact same march as the Trumpettes. They didn't open the door for us. No, they had riot gears, horses, tanks, freaking tear gas. Social inequality, police brutality, Fukushima, poisoning the planet, teenage. So all of a sudden, you see Black Lives Matter gets corporate sponsorship. The NBA, it's all over mainstream media. Then you get Proud Boys, which we knew was artificial astroturf, just completely manufactured by the oligarchs. Why? So you took your mind off the biggest freaking bailout in human history. They knew after the bank bailout, if this happened again, this country would freaking go psycho. So nobody even pays attention. This is the biggest bailout in human history. He's the one that even talks to me anymore. It's quite Cooley's old office. I taught the derivative class here. They were going to name, I'll tell you how many derivatives I traded. I used to call the CBO floor, which I used to work on, Mr. Blanche. Yes. What strikes do you want? On what equity? What expiration? Blah, blah. Next day they were always there. I taught the class here for years. The Waters Curse. I'm so proud of you guys, what you're doing. This bailout is the biggest in history. Let's see if I can flip this can somehow, somewhere. Yeah, let's flip. You look it up. Oh, this economist, I mean, they're scumbags. They rank dead last. They blackballed me. Eo Wattis, yep, the nuclear industry, that Wattis. The people that built the Chalk River meltdown, that built the nuclear industry. That's them. Number one school business in the United States. When I taught here, when I graduated here. Dead fucking last. This is the biggest bailout in human history. I'm like, how come the corporate sponsorship now? Now it's being coming out that the Proud Boys was 100% AstroTurf. Paid rats. NBA, billionaires. Willard was on this campus at the same time, you know, as unbelievable. American teenage. This is the biggest bailout. If you want to participate in this, people are asking me, young people call me up the hook. Here's what you do. We need techies. You need IT. I call it the Post-Ignorance Project. That baby was born. He's learned to walk, because I've been saying this the whole time. It's not Occupy. It's not the Million Mass March. It's not Black Lives Matter. Sure, fucking Proud Boys. No, it's the Post-Ignorance Project. The Post-Ignorance Generation. I've been calling it for years. They were born out of Occupy. I never liked that name. I never liked Million Mass March. I liked the Post-Ignorance Project, which I coined it. You know, it's the ecology, stupid. You need hackers. You need people to, well, not even hackers. Just dig through information. You don't even got to hack. It's out there. Find out who these people are. Find out what their positions are. Who are these hedge funds? Who orchestrated this bailout? Trump, the big, this is way bigger. The feds legally, I used to go psycho about it in my class. You're really going to let the feds buy? That's corrupt. You're done. Volcker spoke here. Paul Volcker, he died this year. Bunny, you go from Bunny to freaking Ayn Rand, freaking Paul. Tax the future, give to my friends. So keep up your work. Squeeze these guys. They're going psycho. Yeah, I mean, because what you've been able to do, you've gotten into mainstream. The media can't ignore you. We are teenage way out here in the field. We fight for what's real. We get our keyboards into our lid. I call it the Kevin Cash trade. Why the Kevin Cash? Baseball Analyticals. Remember, he pulled him out on a 2-hitter. Like the Rays would have won it. He pulled him out because of technical analysis. That's who these are. These hedge funds are computers that are running these things. These oligarchs. This dwarfed the bank bailout. The Trump freaking hedge fund bailout. I'm really proud of what you're doing. So just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep digging out the information. Keep digging out the information. It's all out there. You don't even have to hack it. It's there. And just remember, if you get something classified, don't forward it. Bear Brown went to prison for 10 years for simply forwarding an email. So keep up the good work. You know, the Trump bailout, and I love all of his useful idiots. I'm going to walk with you while you're sitting in jail cells, you're locked up, you're whatever. Where's he? Where's he? He's having caviar in his palace with his hooker. Unreal in Florida. I mean, it was a sham. It was all a sham. They propped up Black Lives Matter to create race bait, created war, take shiny ballism off this, buried this country. This debt structure is fucking gonzoed. I mean, buried. Don't drink the fucking water. The bank bailout on chemo, I call it. So the Trump hedge fund bailout, the war, the bank, and they knew. If they knew, the sheep knew. Here's $600. Go away and shut up. So we are teenage wasteland. We're all wasted.